Hey, what's up, guys, and welcome back to another Premier League predictions. This is for game week 16. Of course, for match day 15, it was a midweek Premier League game, and look, I really enjoyed the football. I really enjoyed the games coming in thick and fast, and you know, last week was pretty decent. And when I mean last week, I mean midweek. But last week of fixtures, which was the last set of fixtures. But like I said, before we get into it, we'll talk about what happened last match day. If you guys don't know how this works, I get half a point for every team I get correct, and I get 1 point for the correct score as well. So let's get into what I predicted for midweek's match day 15 games. Starting off, Wolves at home to Burnley. Look, I got a bit too ahead of myself simply because I have Wolves as my predicted team to get relegated. I went 2-1 Burnley. I have no idea why, and they proved me wrong. Wolves, that is. Look, I don't know why. I just felt that, you know what, Burnley won the game before, but it was at home against Sheffield United. I just thought that they would do it, didn't, and yep, Wolves won 1-0. And that is no points for me to start off, but I did really well. We'll get onto that later. Luton Town Arsenal, pretty simple really. Look, I went 3-1 Arsenal. I was confident. It finished 4-3 Arsenal. I mean, let's just give Luton Town a credit because we all thought they might be the worst team in the Premier League, but it seems like Sheffield United and Burnley are worse than them. So let's just give them that. Let's just give them that. So I get half a point because I didn't get the correct scoreline. I don't think anyone would have gotten it correct though. I mean, 4-3 is so unpredictable. I mean, if someone placed a bet like 4-3 Arsenal, they probably became a millionaire. Um, this one I did get fully correct. Sheffield United against Liverpool. I went 2-0 Liverpool, and it was 2-0 Liverpool. It was like a late 94th minute Szoboszlai not winner, but second goal to give me the correct prediction. What a strike by Van Dijk, by the way. Good first goal for Liverpool. Fulham against Nottingham Forest. Look, I went 2-1 Fulham. I was like, okay, they might do it, right? And guess what? They didn't just do it. They went and smashed Nottingham Forest 5-0. I mean, that's crazy. And then a half point, so that is 2 points. Crystal Palace Bournemouth, I was, happy with this one. I was saying, I'm pretty sure I said in the video that it probably could be a win for any of the three teams or a draw. Sorry, any of the two teams. So this game between Palace and Bournemouth could have been a Palace win, could have been a Bournemouth win, could have been a draw. I went 1-1, sitting on the fence. It was actually 2-0 Bournemouth. And yeah, good result for Bournemouth. They're coming to this with good form, you know. A win against Newcastle, a draw against Aston Villa, and now a win against Crystal Palace. Manchester United should watch out, and we'll get onto that later on. Brighton Brentford, another one that I got 100% spot on. I went 2-1 Brighton, and it was 2-1 Brighton. Starting to pick up some form. Brighton, of course they lost last weekend against Chelsea at Stamford Bridge, but they won against Nottingham Forest a week ago, and they've beaten Brentford as well. Manchester United and Chelsea. I went 3-2 Manchester United, and it was 2-1. So not the furthest away. Not the furthest away. I've seen people say it's gonna be a draw. I've seen people say it's gonna be a Chelsea win. So I'm not the furthest away. Look, the reason I went Manchester United is Chelsea haven't shown the consistency, and Manchester United have shown that they can grind out results even if they don't have it. While we haven't seen it from Chelsea this season, there hasn't been a game where in the Premier League where Chelsea really played badly but still got the points. I don't think they played badly against Brighton, but it should have been a draw. Let's be honest. And most of the other games, like some people would say, oh, they played badly against Spurs. No, they didn't. They actually played pretty well, I would say. And even in the other games, they have played well, but we haven't seen them play badly and get the result. So we've either seen them play really well and win, or really badly and lose. So it was one of the two, but I just couldn't see them go to Old Trafford and get the result. So that's how a point. This is a shocking game of the week. It was match of the week, or match of the match week. Aston Villa at Villa Park to Manchester City. Now, a part of me before I predicted was like, Villa Park, maybe we should go with Aston Villa. But I went with a 3-1 Man City win for some reason. I don't know what I was thinking. But this one is a bit of a redemption arc here. Everton Newcastle United. I must have gone with a Newcastle win. Nah. I went actually with a 1-0 Everton win. And that is only half a point. Let's make that clear. But that is better than nothing. And last game, absolute shocker again. We're back to a shocking prediction between Spurs and West Ham. I went 2-1 Spurs, and it was 2-1 to West Ham. So I finished last match week on 15 points. Let's see, not 15 points. Am I mad? 4 points. Sorry. I don't know where I got 15 from. Let's start off with Crystal Palace Liverpool. Now, Crystal Palace were at home to Bournemouth and they lost. Liverpool were away to Sheffield United and they won. Yeah, that kind of tells you the story. 2-1 Liverpool. I'm going sensible, by the way. I'm really thinking about it, and I'm not gonna go with like the obvious picks, like not too obvious. But I'm gonna try to pick up as many points as I can. Wolves, Nottingham Forest. I want to say a Nottingham Forest win, but they've just lost 5-0. And I still have Wolves going down, relegated. But you have to go 2-0 Wolves in this game. They're at home. They have just won their last game at home. There really isn't anything suggesting that it's going to stop. Brighton against Burnley. Let's go 3-1 Brighton. I can't see Burnley getting anything away from this really, because they were away against Wolves and they couldn't. And their away form isn't great. Their home form is better but isn't great. I would be worried if I was a Burnley fan and if I was Vincent Kompany, because things just aren't going that well. Now this is a hard game to predict here. Really hard, because you've got a team like Sheffield United who have been poor. Of course, they lost at home to Liverpool, but it's Liverpool. And Brentford away from home. It's gonna be a tough one, really. Now Brentford were away at Brighton and they lost, but it's Brighton. I'm gonna go 2-1 Brentford. This is the perfect game of the week to be niche and say 1-1 or 2-2 or 0-0. But I'll pick Brentford. But again, I wouldn't be surprised if this is like a 1-0 Sheffield United masterclass. Like, I wouldn't be surprised. And as we were saying, teams like Burnley, Sheffield United and Luton Town have to capitalize their home games. They have to. So if Sheffield United wins this game, then fair play to them. But this is a side that haven't been showing that. Now, Manchester United against Bournemouth. Look, Bournemouth coming to this game on good form. Like I said earlier on, you look at their results against the top teams. They obviously got smashed by Manchester City, but I'm thinking I'm pretty sure they got smashed by Bournemouth as well. Was it this season or was it last? No, they were smashed by Liverpool. Were they? Were they smashed by Liverpool this season? I think it was last season, wasn't it? I mean, they did lose to Liverpool. They lost to Spurs. Um, they drew Chelsea and that. But last couple of games, ever since their defeat to Manchester City, the 6-1, they've beaten Newcastle United at home. They've beaten Sheffield United away. They've beaten Aston Villa at home. And they've beaten Crystal Palace away. So they're going back-to-back away games here against United. Now, it's one of those games really that you would want to say a 1-1. But as I said earlier on, they just seem to be able to find a way to get something even if they're not playing well. I'm going to go 1-0 Manchester United. Simply, like I said, because they could be struggling for the whole game, but they'll find a goal. Now, this week we've got a couple of match of the weeks. I would say Aston Villa Arsenal at Villa Park. I would say certainly Everton Chelsea at Goodison Park. And Spurs Newcastle at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Now, next up, Aston Villa against Arsenal. For me, Arsenal will prove that they are champions worthy if they can get this result. Because Manchester City went away to Aston Villa and were dominated and were cooked. I'm going to go 2-1 Aston Villa on this one. You know, I didn't back Unai Emery. I didn't back Aston Villa. And I certainly thought that Manchester City could get something. And I think I was proved wrong. And I think many people were proved wrong. This is a great match to watch. So I'll go Aston Villa Arsenal for a 2-1 Aston Villa win. And Luton Town Man City, I almost just want to say like a 1-0 Luton Town just to be fun. But let's be sensible here. And let's go 4-2 Man City. They're not going to keep a clean sheet with the way they are playing defensively. But they're not going to lose, are they? They can't. If they lose this game, I think they might have a chance to not be the champions this season. If they lose. Fulham West Ham, two teams coming into this great form. Fulham obviously smashing Nottingham Forest at home. They will be playing this at home as well. West Ham went away to Spurs and won. My first draw, I'm going to go 2-2. Look, I don't think much is going to separate these two teams. I think the midfield battle might be key. Maybe West Ham just win that win that battle with Ward-Prowse and Souček and Paquetá. But yeah, last two games, Everton Chelsea. I backed Everton last time out. I backed them, and I'll back them again. 2-1 Everton. It's not a good place to go. I mean, Newcastle had proved that last week or midweek. It is not a good place to go. When you're struggling, it's not a good place to go. Because Everton are struggling themselves, and they're at home. They're in the trenches, and they're at home. And they can play a way that kind of irritates you, but also get at you. So they'll play a way that you're irritated by it, and because you're irritated and annoyed, then they counter on you. They'll get at you when you least expect it, and that's what I expect. I expect this game to be the start of the game. Chelsea have control, Everton pull back, and then Everton to just hit at Chelsea. Spurs against Newcastle. Look, two teams that lost. Spurs lost to West Ham after they scored again. It's like the fifth game in a row that they have scored first without getting a win, and Newcastle got smashed. Now, Spurs have an advantage because they're at home, but it doesn't mean anything because they were at home against West Ham. They bottled it. They were at home against, I want to say Wolves. They were at home against Wolves, right? I'm pretty sure. Yeah, no, they were not. But they were at home against Aston Villa. They bottled it. They were at home against Chelsea, and they bottled it. It tells you a lot, really. 3 home games in the last 5 matches that they've bottled. I mean, I'll go with a good game, and I'll go with a 3-2 Spurs. Simply because it's at home. If this was at St. James's Park, I would say, yeah, Newcastle. But I'll go 3-2. And yeah, those are my predictions. Let me know what your thoughts are down below. Hope you guys have enjoyed today's video. Hit that Matchday, subscribe to the channel on already, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.